So these are the overall points which we'll understand from the Google Analytics, guys. In this is in continuation. This is very much in sequence. So we'll first of all understand what is Web Analytics. So Google Analytics is a part of Web Analytics overall stuff. So what is Web Analytics? I did tell you in a brief in the previous slide. And once we are done with that, we'll also understand how Google Analytics works at the back end, why Google Analytics is needed for SEO campaigns. So these are some basic questions which one needs to understand before getting into the depth, right? So if that these basic questions are not clear, then the overall objective of learning is not going to be proper. All right. Once that's being done, we'll understand how to configure Google Analytics. If you know what Web Analytics is, why they are being needed, what is the overall importance, why how do they work at the back end? Once that's being known, we would go ahead and see how can we configure a Google Analytics account. So we'll open a Google Analytics account. We'll try to sign in with it with the help of our Gmail account and open our website as well. So we'll connect our website with Google Analytics so that our website traffic gets recorded in the Google Analytics platform, right? So we'll also see how do we configure it with the help of a WordPress-based plugin. So there is a specific reason for taking WordPress because that's the most renowned platform for making websites, right? Once that's been done, then we'll look into the various in-depth part within the analytics. We'll see the real-time analytics. So it's very much like checking the live score of a cricket match which is happening. So instead of checking something which is of past, we can also check the real-time part. What number of people are really present on my website at right now? This can be checked with the help of real-time analytics, right? So we'll see that how does that happen. Then we'll go on to the looking at the geolocation, right? So let's say today I have received 100 visitors on my website in the past 24 hours, but I now want to check whether they were from India or from United States or from United Kingdom, from what all countries they have been coming onto my website. That can be checked also from the city perspective. Were there major people, the maximum audience from Delhi location or from London or from New York? So that can also be done. So we look at all that. We'll have a great insight. We'll just check by taking one of the sites example, and for followed by that, we'll see the users flow segment. Within the Google Analytics, we can see how particular traffic, a particular person coming onto a website has been moving onto a website from one page to another. Which is that particular web page where maximum audience comes in first? Is it the home page where they land in the maximum, or is there any other landing specific page created by any other digital marketer? Just for an example, if you are running Facebook paid ads, or if you're running Google AdWords paid advertisements, generally you don't take the home page. You most of the times take the landing page, and within the landing page, you go ahead and get the traffic coming on. So we'll see all that, how the traffic has been moving from one page to another to another to another, and within which page they have been dropping the maximum. So there are drop-offs also. So this will give us great insights on what particular web page needs to be altered, and just because the drop-off being there the maximum. All right. So after users flow, we'll also see the channels part. Where is the maximum traffic? So where is the maximum traffic getting acquired, right? Whether it's from the referral websites or from the social media sites or from the search engine optimization, or is it with the help of the email marketing campaigns? So we'll see how much traffic is getting achieved with a particular particular channel, right? Followed by that, we'll also see how much traffic is achieved specifically from the SEO perspective. It's very much important to check from the SEO performance. To check the SEO performance, it's very much important to see how much traffic have been achieved, and we'll also see the bar graph. Has the traffic been increasing over and over? If we are running a particular campaign, SEO campaign, and we have started with the on page followed by the off page, we have to make sure that our overall efforts are going in the right direction. in the right keywords, the keywords are ranking, and also the keywords, when they are being ranked, they're also getting us good amount of traffic, right? So all that we're going to check within the traffic segment achieved through organic search. Followed by the last thing is going to be in-page analytics. If today, so when I say in-page analytics, this is not about, this is very different to the user flow. User flow was from how the overall traffic has flown from one page to another to another. Now, in-page analytics is all about just one web page. Where are the major people who are coming onto my website clicking within a specific web page, right? There are various elements for a particular web page. There can be a video, there can be certain text written, there can be a button, there can be a menu. Which all particular segment of my page is getting clicked the most and which one is not, I can get to know even that as well. So we look into the in-page analytics as we'll move further. So let's get started with Google Analytics. And before getting into Google Analytics, I'll also would also like to tell you about Google Webmaster, what all things we would be covering with Google Webmaster. There is a new name for Google Webmaster, guys. Recently, which is, I believe, couple of weeks back only, Google has has actually renamed Google Webmaster as Search Console. That's a new name, guys, right? So what is Google Webmaster or Search Console? We'll understand that. And why are they important and why are they needed for SEO campaigns? So we'll look into certain uh, reasons behind that. We'll understand that. And the third one being how the most important, how do we configure, how do we verify the ownership of our website with the help of Google Webmaster. So we'll see how do we go ahead and sign in to Google Webmaster. After signing in, how do we go ahead and get that implemented for our website, right? So we'll also check how do we get that configured with the help of a WordPress plugin. So we'll see from the WordPress based website. Once that's being done, once our website is being configured, once we have known that Google Webmaster is pulling out data, is giving us suggestions, then we'll start with the very first step, which is submitting sitemap. In our past on-page and SEO audit part, we have understood what a sitemap is, what an XML sitemap is, and how do we create that. We also saw that. And we also saw in the last 3-4 videos that how do we use SEO Yoast plugin. So with the help of SEO Yoast plugin, the Google sitemap gets generated automatically. We would take that XML sitemap, and we'll see how can we submit that on Google Webmaster as well, right? So that's another thing which we'll look into Google Webmaster, followed by certain critical messages. I did tell you that for ownership verification, Google Webmaster or Search Console is needed. And if Google has to communicate with us, has to give us certain messages, then it's going to be with the help of Google Webmaster. So within Google Webmaster, there are certain critical messages which we get straight from Google in our inbox. So we look into that part. What sort of messages do we get? And the last one, which is very important, all the recommendations which I've been telling you, all the various aspects within SEO campaign, those recommendations, those suggestions are being provided within Webmaster. So we look at into those 5 major ways on how we can supercharge our SEO campaign with the help of Google Webmaster, you can say, or with the help of Google Search Console. All right, great. So what exactly is Web Analytics? Let's start with Google Web Analytics, guys. So what is Web Analytics? So Web Analytics, which is being defined as the measurement, collection, analysis, and reporting of web data. So when I say web data, is the same number of people, the data which gets collected when visitors come onto our website, and we measure that, collect that, and analyze that, right? So for the purpose of understanding and optimizing the web usage, the optimization of the overall website is dependent quite a lot with the data which gets pulled out with the help of web analytics. So web analytics comes into play over there. The use of web analytics is to set to enable a business to attract more visitors. So if you're using web analytics, you can get to know where exactly the visitors are coming from, and you can use the same data to attract much more relevant visitors to your website, which is the end objective, right? If you get a lot of visitors in the end, then your overall objective gets met, right? You would also see with the help of web analytics, you can attract new customers and retain the earlier ones for your goods and services. Ultimately, the new customers coming onto your website or the old customers getting retained, it will help you to increase the dollar volume for increase the dollar volume which each customer is spending on. If you can pull out much more dollars from whatever customers are coming across onto your website, your end business goals get achieved. That's what web analytics comes into play, right? So that's overall web analytics, guys. And look, Google Analytics is one of the major web analytics platform. How Google Analytics works at the back end, just a small diagrammatic representation. This is what happens once you configure your website. Once you configure your website, which we'll be doing it with Google Analytics, it would start collecting. The Google Analytics would start speaking directly with Google, with your website, right? The traffic which is coming onto your website. It would start pulling out, collecting data of your visitors, and it would start processing and categorizing it. Let's say there have been 1,000 visitors on your website. All that information gets collected. Once that's been collected, that information gets pulled out, collected, and categorized and processed. It would be categorized into the timing part, the geographical location part, the users flow, the in-page analytics, and all that. Once that's been processed and categorized, it's being represented with the help of the Google Analytics dashboard. The reports would be actually created and would be shared across in the Google Web Analytics dashboard, guys. Within the Google Web Analytics dashboard, the reports would be shared across. We'll see all that. This is the backend, guys. We would be doing the configuration, but the collection and the processing works at the backend part. And the reporting also, that's a front end part which we see. In the front end, the configuration is being done by us and the reporting is seen by us in the Google Analytics dashboard. But the collection of the data is done in the Google servers, in the Google secured server, and the processing also helps, also gets done at the backend, right? So in totality, these two major things happens at the backend. So that's a brief of how Google Analytics work and why exactly Google Analytics is needed for SEO, guys. So it's very much important to know why Google Analytics is needed, right? So to find out how many visitors have come onto your website, where exactly are they located, what page of your website they have come in. These all information is a major ingredient for getting best results for whatever digital marketing campaign you're running. Number two point, why Google Analytics is needed for SEO specifically, not just for digital marketing, but very specific for SEO, is that Google Analytics helps to identify which pages and links your visitors clicks the most. If we get to know what web page, what links are visitors clicking the most, then we would optimize them much more further. We'll use those points. We'll reap in the benefits of those trends. And the ones which are not being visited the most, the links which are not being clicked the most, we'll try to shape them up. We'll try to get them fixed in a perfect match fashion, right? Number 3 point, it says visitor segmentation, right? So visitor segmentation point says with this you'll be able to know how many new visitors that your search engine optimization campaign brings to you. You don't need to just rely on data on how many people have come into your website. You can also get a segmentation of the number of visitors who have come in the second time or the third time or the fourth time, and how many new people have come in. So if there have been certain audience on your website which have been coming again and again, it doesn't really mean that you're doing really well. I mean, you're doing really well on the product aspect, on the website doing well, but from the SEO perspective, it's very important to keep on attracting more new audience as well. Retaining the earlier audience, the older audience, is one good objective to be met, but also it's very much important to know about how many visitors have come onto my website for the first time. So the new visitors data is very much needed from analyzing the success of a SEO campaign. So that's the importance of Google Analytics, guys, which is number 3. Number 4 point about why Google Analytics is needed for SEO is to fine tune our website. Why do we need to fine tune our website? The reason behind doing that is to always stay ahead of the competition. No visitor would like to keep on seeing your same website again and again. They always look out for a change. They're always expected expecting something really great from your website whenever they visit the next. You name any great website, you would see they keep changing their website day in and day out, not just with the objective of doing experimentation, but with the objective of keep on refining, keep on delivering much more value on day-to-day basis. That's the overall effort. So for fine-tuning of the website, we need to understand where the visitor is visiting the most, which web page, and which web page are they not really going the most. If they're not going to a particular web page, there is something really which needs to be shaped up. Also within the in-page analytics, what particular button is getting the maximum clicks and what particular text or video or an image or a button is not receiving a good number of clicks or visits or hits. So we get all that, and that's overall, these are the major four points uh, which explains why Google Analytics is needed for SEO. All right. So let's get into the practical part, guys. We'll start with implementation of Google Analytics. So let me open Google Analytics account and then show you. All right. So I'll just log in. So I'll just log into one of my Google account and would then open google.com/analytics so that we can configure one of our websites. So I'll take my website and then make you see that. So I'm logging into Google account. All right. So once I have logged into my Google account in a new tab, I go ahead and open google.com/analytics, guys. All right. So that's the URL, guys. And then the step one is to sign into your Google Analytics account. In a different tab, I'll open my website as well, which is I take my website, which is yocreations.ca/WP admin. That's the backend of my website, the WP admin, right? So I'm going to take the backend and would open the Google Analytics. I've just signed into the Google Analytics and also logging into the backend of my website. All right, so what you can see right now, that's the backend, that's the overall Google Analytics platform, guys. If you are doing for the first time, you won't get to see this because I've got certain websites which have been configured over here, right? Certain websites have already been configured. I would go ahead and configure and make you see what is the first thing which you would see if you're doing it in a fresh account. All right, so I click on admin and create a new account. So what I'm going to show you right now is what exactly you would be doing if you're logging in for the first time. All right, so what you can see right now, it says new account. This is something which you would get to see for the first time, and it'll ask you for entering the account name. Let's say I type in test and I type in my website name, followed by typing across the URL of my website. So it's all up to you what account name do you want to give it, and what website name do you want to mention. But the URL overall has to be what for whatever website you're trying to implement it. The next thing is to it asks for is the industry category. So it's all up to you to just select the best category for your website. What I'm doing, I'm just selecting any random category at this point of time, and once the category has been defined, go ahead and select that reporting time zone, whether it's United States, India, or whatnot, and then click on. We'll scroll further down, and now you can see it'll say get a tracking code. The last thing. Once we are done with selecting the category, right? So I say that again that I'm going to select just any random category, and followed by the reporting time zone. All right, so I've selected the business and industrial and going ahead with the same reporting time zone, which is United States. And in the when I scroll further down, you would see a blue color button which says Get Tracking ID. I go ahead and click on that. After clicking onto this, it's going to ask me for I accept the terms and services. I would be getting the person who's going to configure it would be getting a JavaScript code, guys. A JavaScript code is going to be received, which has to be implemented on all the web pages of the website, which has to be tracked, and it has to be placed before the closure of the heading tag. I'll say that again. Copy this entire code. This is a JavaScript code, guys, which you would get right now. That code has to be pasted across on all the web pages of your website, which for which the traffic has to be analyzed and uh, recorded. All right, so you can see the JavaScript code right now over here. I have selected that. This has to be copied and pasted across, like it says, copy and paste this code in every web page. So if you are aware of how to do that, if you know how to go ahead and change the tags, I mean, play around with the tags, then pretty easily you can do that. Else, I would also show you how can you get that implemented for your WordPress-based website. If it's not a website which does have a CMS, just like Joomla or a WordPress, then it has to be copied and it has to be placed before the closure of the header tag. I repeat, before the closure of the header tag, it has to be implemented for every web page, right? If that's not the case, you have a WordPress-based website or a CMS-based website, then what is needed is the UA code at the top. The UA code, if you can see on the top, which says tracking ID, that UA code is going to be copied and it would be implemented in the WordPress based website. So now I would change the tab and would go to the backend of my website. So I'm logging into the WP admin of my website, which is yocreations.ca, and I'll show you how do we configure that for a WordPress based website. All right, so once we log in, we would be going into the plugin section the way we did for the SEO Yoast, the way we got a SEO Yoast plugin installed. Similarly, this time we will also go to the plugin section and click on add new plugin. All right, so this is the dashboard, guys. Within the dashboard on the left hand side, we have to look for the plugin section, and underneath plugins, we would click on add new plugin. Right. Once that window pops in, once we have clicked on add new, all the plugins option would be available. And in the search bar, we would be typing in Google Analytics and would press enter. So we have to go ahead and click on add a new plugin, and after clicking on add new plugin, we have to type in Google Analytics in the search bar, right? Once that's being done, you would see plenty of Google Analytics plugins which come in here. The first one, the very first one, is a very renowned one. You can go ahead with the any other as well, but the first two one are the more major renowned one, guys. The one with developer being Kevin, that's a very renowned one. You can go ahead simply and click on install. So this is been already installed for my website. That's why it says installed. You just simply need to go ahead and click on the button where it would say for you install now, like the way you have install now over here. Once you click on install now, on the left hand side, you would see it will say activate. Should I activate? You do need to go ahead and click on activate. Once the plugin has been installed and activated, we would go on again to the dashboard, and on the left hand side, there is a tab called settings. right? On the left hand side where we have the plugins tab and all that, there is a tab called settings, and underneath settings, you would see a sub heading called analytics, Google Analytics. We need to go ahead and click on that. The plugin would have actually got installed on our website, and the overall settings of the Google Analytics plugin would have been could be checked by going into the settings tab, and underneath settings when you can see the Google Analytics subheading. The main heading is settings and the subheading is Google Analytics. Once that's been done, you can simply see on the top it says web property ID. We would scroll up and see the web property ID is the place where we have to place that same UA code. You can see the UA code is already, there's one UA code which is already present over here. You would just simply need to go ahead and remove the earlier one if it's already there. If you're doing it for the first time, there won't be any UA code. For me, I have already got it installed with another account, so I'm not going to change it. Otherwise, the right way is to go ahead and paste the UA code. I've already done that. Go ahead and do the click on the save button. That's it. Go ahead and click on save. Isn't that simple? This is the most simplest way to get Google Analytics implemented for all the web pages. You don't need to paste this across on all the pages of your website. Simply, you just have to paste the UA code. Automatically, it would go ahead and do the implementation. It would start tracking all the visitors which are coming onto your website, each and every web page. All right. So once that's being done, we can move back to the Google Analytics platform. And after moving back to the Google Analytics platform, we would see the website gets implemented. The website has got integrated. I'm clicking on one of my clients' website and just going ahead into the overall dashboard to make you see each and every aspect. So I click on that CWNP, that's one of my client. And what right now you can see is the overall dashboard, guys, how Google Analytics dashboard looks like. If this is for the first time for you, then the overall this bar graphs which you can see, these tall towers with a valley in between, right? These top tall mountains which you can see, that won't be visible for you if you're doing for the first time. If you are, let's say, if after a month you would have certain data to be shown, then you would have, these kind of uh, mountains or hills or smaller stuff, right, with small peak valleys. So why there is a valley? Because the traffic for this particular website is pretty less on Saturdays and Sundays, so it dips down on Saturdays and Sundays. Now the first thing, guys, which we have to see whether the analytics code has been implemented perfectly or not, and the traffic is getting recorded or not, is by going ahead and clicking on the real time part. On the left hand side you would see real time tab. That's the first thing which I want to show you uh, for checking whether the website analytics is performing well or not. So after clicking on real time, go ahead and click on overview. All right. So once you click on overview, it would give you the live score in terms of how many people are there on your website right now. It's very much like a cricket score, that what is the present score right now? What is the present number of visitors who are visiting on my website, and from what all locations have they coming from? So you can see there is one active user on my website right now, and that particular user is accessing my website on a desktop. Had it been on a mobile, that could have also been recorded. So what I would do right now is use my phone, which is not shared with you, and open this website on my mobile phone. All right. So what you would see that my okay, now you can see that there is another person on the mobiles, right? Automatically. And I am actually based out of Noida. So you can see that's why my even geographic location gets recorded over here. So I am using the mobile version. That's why this is one active user from Kolkata. And there is another person, which is me from the mobile version. That's why it says 50% from mobile. Now, let's say if I open in a different tab the same website, if I open the same website, you would see, okay, that particular person from Kolkata has dropped off, and I'm there from the mobile version, and you can see I'm there also from the desktop version, which I've opened just now in a different tab, and let it get refreshed, and then I'll show you. So I'm opening the website, and you can see right now there are two people. So one is me, and the another one is also me, right? So I have got this website opened up from a desktop version and also the mobile version. Oh, okay. So there is another person which is live on website. So all in all, you can see the live status. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And you can also check from the location perspective how many visitors are there from a particular location. So not just from the India perspective, you can see from the overall, from the global perspective. Plus, what all max, top referrals have been. So this has been measured directly, so that's why it's not getting recorded. And the keywords which is actually resulting into uh, traffic, that is not provided right now because of one of the Google algorithm, Hummingbird. We'll talk about the Hummingbird, because of which the not provided thing comes in. Not all the keywords from the organic thing gets recorded. There is no traffic from the social. That's why you don't see any traffic from social over here. You can simply go ahead and click at various other tabs which are present over here. So locations, traffic sources, you have the content part, which all pages are getting accessed. One can check into that as well. So locations, traffic sources, and then the content part as well. So there are three visitors who are there. We can check from the content part. Let me just go ahead and click on that. So we have three users right now, and all three of them are from India right now. You can see that. All right, so this tool is a bit heavy, which is Google Analytics. That's why it takes time to refresh, guys. You can see that these three visitors are on the home page. This is the home page actually. This is the home page. All the three are on the home page. Had it been other pages as well, the that could have got recorded. So that's for checking the real time, guys. The overall data is getting recorded, and you are pretty much sure that Web Analytics is working fine for your website, right? So that's with real time. Now, okay, I would go further down and show you the other stuff. All right, somehow the users have got changed from 3 to 4. Great. And you can see the other pages, not just the home page, but the other page have also been accessed by the new visitor, new user. All right, so let me just go back to my PowerPoint presentation and show you this overall stuff which we have to cover. All right, so I tell you again, so you do need to have some patience while accessing Google Analytics, because it does take time to show you up refresh stuff and show you the updated information, right? All right, so I have moved back to my presentation and just telling you uh, what all we have to cover. So we did that part. We installed the Google Analytics plugin, and also we configured it with the help of entering the UA code. The UA code which was being given uh, to us from the Google Analytics platform, we had configured that. Once that was being done, we did see the real-time analytics in a live scenario, right? How many visitors have come into my website, and we have seen on what all pages have they been checking my website, and were they from a particular, which all locations were they, and were they accessing from a desktop or a tablet or a mobile? All that can be done. Right, so we saw that. Now comes in, guys, is the audience geographic location. So now we would see for the past data, we can change, we can not just see from the real-time analytics, but we can also see the data of the past 30 days or the past 1 year also, and also check for the geographic the places from where visitors have come in from. So this is one of the snapshot guys which I have taken from uh, my Google Analytics account. You can see on the left hand side it's the audience part, and underneath the audience so there are plenty of things, guys, which would be covered in the web analytics most of the module. But what I'm trying to tell you right now are the major ones which a search engine optimizer needs to know, needs to really look into on an ongoing basis. So on the left hand side, you have the audience tab, and within the audience, you have the geo, and underneath geo, you have the location tab, right? So I'll make you see that from underneath the location, so you can see blend other display. So there are 3 to 4 dimensions. These are called dimensions: country, city, continent, and the subcontinent part. So you have to see, if you have to see from the country perspective, you can go ahead and click on that. All right, so let me go ahead and click on audience, and underneath audience it's the location. All right, so it's getting refreshed. Now I have gone back to the panel, guys, the Google Analytics panel, and I have clicked on the audience tab on the left hand side. I'm clicking on that, and underneath audience, I'm going ahead and clicking on geo and then the location part. Right. So you can see now overall world map coming up right in front of you, where it does have the blue, all the areas have been shaded into blue. The one with darker blue version is that particular region, that particular country, which has the maximum visits. So United States is much more darker blue, and the other ones are sky bluish because they have been receiving lesser number of traffic. All right. This is the data, guys, for the timing between August 1st to August 31st, 2015. I can go ahead and change that also, and I can, let's say if I can go ahead on the top and I can change it to the past 1 year, let's say, or maybe I take it from 1st of July 2014 to 31st of August 2015. So that's the date when I'm recording this video. I go ahead and click on apply by taking, so what I'm doing right now, I'm taking from 1st of July to 31st of August 2015, and I go ahead and apply. So that's the day when I'm recording this video, which is 31st August. So when I click on that, just bear with me for a couple of seconds because it does take some time to upload and give you the data. This is a huge data, right, guys? That's why it takes time to come up. All right, so once you get the data, you can simply go ahead and scroll further down and see from the country perspective. From the country perspective, you would be able to see how much visitors, how many sessions have got created. Now, sessions, guys, is something like one visitor coming onto your website and staying on your website uh, for, let's say, 29 minutes and 59 seconds. And if the visitor is actually visiting there and staying over there for that much time, then one session is getting recorded. Even if it's for 1 second or for 29 minutes, 59 seconds, the one session gets recorded. The moment it passes by 30 minutes, one more session. If it's the same visitor staying there for more than 30 minutes, a new session gets created. So all these things would be actually taken once you would be seeing the web analytics module, guys. But for SEO professional, it's always good to see where exactly is the maximum traffic coming from, because if your major key target country is United States, you have to see whether the maximum traffic which you're receiving is from the targeted country or not, which is actually happening right now over here. You can see for United States almost close to 47% of sessions are from this particular country, and the percentage new sessions. So I did tell you the visitor segmentation. Out of the total visitors, how many have come into the website for the first time? So there have been 51% sessions which have come in from new visitors. New users have been 45%, and these 45% visitors have come in, created new sessions for 51.61% of the total sessions. Right. So in case you want to get more in depth about all these certain statistics, it's always good to look into the web analytics module videos, guys. And another thing is the bounce rate. Now, bounce rate is one terminology which helps the overall digital marketers to know how their website is performing. Somebody comes onto our website and doesn't do anything, whether it's in terms of the scrolling up and down or clicking something on the website, and just moves from our website to another tab or closes the website in that same tab, it would be called as a bounce, guys. It would be a sort of a bounce rate. The bounce rate would actually exceed in that case. This means that the visitor who came onto a website didn't really like the website. The website not was being liked, so that's why he or she actually moved from a website. If the website, if the bounce rate is closer to 100%, then it's a cause of concern. If it's closer to 0%, it's sense of achievement. Somewhere close to 30 to 40% is a decent bounce rate, guys. It means that people are somewhat liking your website, but still you can go ahead and make changes if your website bounce rate in totality is bit huge. You can see in internal statistics for every particular location also by going ahead and clicking on them. If you click on United States, you can get much more detailed information, right? Average session per duration has been 4 minutes and 51 seconds for United States. The pages per session, so 5.42 pages have been on an average visited by the in a particular session, right? In place of country, I would go ahead and click on city as well and then show you the data gets collected from the city perspective also. So just stay tuned. It takes some time to get the data up. It's a lot of data which Google pulls out and gives it across to you, right? So it's taking some time to making you see the data. So once I click on the city part, refreshing, and it's collecting the entire data, and it will be right in front of us. All right, so now you can see for the very first city, it shows as not set. Why it shows at not set? Because there are various suburbs region, guys, which are not presented into the database of Google. That's why it shows not set. Then you can see maximum traffic coming from Bangalore, then from New York, London, Durham, Chennai, Hong Kong, Hyderabad. So all in all, from the city perspective as well, this can be seen in totality, right? After that, after checking into the geographic overall data, guys, we can also now go ahead and check for the users flow. When I say users flow, how many visitors have, whatever visitors have come onto my website, how they have really moved from one page to another on my website. So on the left hand side, underneath same uh, audience, underneath the same audience major tab, we have the last smaller tab as user flow. So once we click on that, the overall data would take some time to load up. Right now you can see the overall user flow, guys. It's very much important for the SEO professionals to know which web page is performing well and which not, so that they can take action against those web pages where they have a lot of drop off. So you can see uh, it does tells us how many visits have been there from United States, from India, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, and the other countries on the very first path, right? The very first path, if you look at United States, India, Canada, United Kingdom, blah, blah, blah. And if I have to check whatever number of visitors have come in from United States, to which web page they have come in first. So these are different web pages, guys. In the starting pages, if you see, the starting page has been the top most, the home page. And from the home page, there have been good number of drop-offs, which is, let us check for the percentage. If I click on that red thing, so the first interaction is on the home page, the starting page. The starting page is the home page, let's say on the top, and within that you can see the red thing which is right across that. These are drop-offs. We can go ahead and check for those drop-offs, how much percentage these drop-offs are there. I can see there is a plenty good number of drop-off from the home page, and if that's the case, then it means that my home page needs a lot of alteration. You can see it's 22.8% of the total traffic coming onto my home page. They're getting dropped off from there and they're not moving to any other page. So some alteration needed there. And the other remaining traffic is going on to which all pages. So the first page, first interaction, the second interaction, the third interaction, and what and all that. So that's the user flow which one can go ahead and look at and add more value to the SEO campaign, guys, in totality, which is very much needed to make your SEO campaign a success. Now, the next thing, guys, if which search engine optimization professional needs to look at is by going on to the acquisition part. On the left hand side, after the audience, in the audience, we saw the geographic part, the geo part. Within the geo, we saw how the data, how the overall traffic has come in from a particular country, from a city, the number of average number of sessions, the total sessions, the new sessions, new visitors, and pages per visit and pages per session overall. Similarly, after audience, we can see there is another major tab which is called acquisition. Underneath acquisition, we have a sub tab which is called all traffic, and underneath all traffic, we have a particular sub uh, tab which is called channels. Now, why channels? We would be clicking on channels to understand where are the maximum traffic, where are the maximum visits coming from, which all channels are leading to traffic on our website. So for the past 12, 13 months, which I have taken earlier, which is from June 1st to 2014 to 31st August 2015, once I click on the channels, the overall data, the overall traffic which has come onto my website and from which all channels, that would get represented, right? So you can see it's a huge, I mean, it's a very long tail where all these smaller, you can show those same mountains which are getting represented. When I scroll further down, I would get some more information from the channel perspective, right? You can see from the channel's perspective how much traffic has my website received in that time region which I have selected, and whether there has been maximum traffic from organic or from this direct. So when I say direct, it's like somebody going ahead and typing in my website URL directly on the browser, right? Somebody typing in the URL directly on the browser, it's going to be counted as direct. And somebody going ahead and typing any keyword in the search engine and using the SEO with the help of any my website being ranking on those particular keyword, and the traffic coming onto that would get represented within organic search. So the SEO performance gets represented with the organic search. You can see there's a great number of traffic. The maximum traffic on my website is with the help of organic search. It shows that yes, SEO is working really great. SEO is working good, but we can also get into the depth of organic search part. In totality, in channels part, you can see the direct referral, the social part also being there. So how much traffic has social media marketing helped in terms of getting hits, relevant hits. Then the email, paid search, display. When I say paid search, this is the search campaigns, guys, the Google search campaigns, and the display campaigns are also getting represented over here. So for every particular channel, the internal statistics is also getting represented. It's also getting shown to us. You can say 53.99% of the entire sessions are being received with the help of the organic traffic, which is a good number as compared to the other channels, right? And number of new percentage of new session have been 57.06% for organic search, and new users have been 56.55%, which is again a great number if you are achieving this. And the bounce rate is 50.46, which is a bit on the higher side. If you see from the email campaigns, the bounce rate is close to 40.66 for the email campaign. 40.66 is the bounce rate, which is bit better as compared to the other ones, right? If I see for the organic search again, number of pages per session have been 4.49, and the average session duration have been close to 4 minutes or something, 4 minutes 17 seconds. That's in totality, right? If I click on the organic search, all right, it will take again some more time to go ahead and give us the data. If I click on the organic search, I would get into the much in depth of what all keywords are really giving me what amount of traffic, right? So you can see right up over here, if I scroll further down, right? So you can see the kind of keywords, the number of keywords which have given what number of visits or sessions. So the number one keyword which is not provided. So, but some of the keywords are getting represented. You can see this particular keyword. For this keyword, my website has been ranking somewhere or the other, and these many people have come onto my website by typing in this. So we can get again same set of data, which is sessions, percentage new sessions, new users, bounce rate, pages per session, average session per duration from the keyword perspective also. So this helps us to understand, a search engine optimizer gets to understand for whatever keyword they have been trying to rank their website up. Is that something which is happening right? Is if I'm trying to make my website rank higher for CWNA keyword or for wireless certification, which is a pretty competitive keyword, I have been able to get this much number of traffic, right? All right, so let's say if I click on wireless certification keyword in particular, all right, so you can see how much traffic, if I go ahead and click for wireless certification, this gives me major information, some more detailed information on how much visits have been received, how many sessions have been received from this particular keyword only, right? So from this particular keyword, how much traffic has been received, that all gets recorded. All right, so that's guys with the channels part. The last thing which I would let you know, which I would like to tell you about, is the in-page analytics within the Google Analytics. So on the left hand side, like we had the audience part and then we had the acquisition major tab. Similarly, we have a behavior tab on a major tab which is known, which is by the name of behavior. So I would go ahead and click on behavior, and underneath behavior you have the in-page analytics, right? So that's the one. When I go ahead and click on in-page analytics, so just bear with me for a second because this is pretty heavy, guys. Okay, this is saying it's gonna take some time to represent, so let me take another website. So this particular website has got huge number of visits on a daily basis. That's why in-page analytics is taking a lot of time. So let me take the another website which has lesser number of visits on a daily basis. And let me show that. So this is for another website of one of my client. I go ahead and click on option says load in full preview. So this particular tab, guys, which is in-page analytics, is going to give me more information about the elements which are there, within my web page. So what is the performance of all those elements which are there on my web page? That overall information is what we are going to get. So I'll just show you once it gets uploaded. Uh, it does take time. It will also take for you as well once you will do it by yourself to get to know the overall in-page analytics data. All right, so it's shaping up, it's opening, and they're just going to give us the percentage for what all elements. All right, so it started up, coming up. Right, so over here you can see there is a main logo on the top, then you have a side menu, then you have a top menu on the right hand side. You have a slider right up there on the main top of the fold. Then there is certain content if we scroll further down. For every single tab, how much percentage have people really liked or clicked? So you can see now the in-page analytics has come up, and it says that 60% of the clicks, which is within this duration, 330 clicks out of 330 out of the total clicks, 60% of the clicks have been on the main logo, guys. So let me just go ahead and show that. All right, so you can see 60% of the clicks have been there on the logo. Then 10% is there on the side menu for one of them's names, health IT training, so forth and so on, right? On the right hand side, we have the newsletter tab where it shows 1.1%. So 1.1% clicks only. So this means that this is not really catchy. Only the logo is something which is much more catchy. Then 60% clicks on the home page, 5.1% on the about, so forth and so on, right? If I scroll further down, it will tell me again the overall inputs. So the SEO professionals can go ahead and fine tune their website on the basis of user flow, on the basis of in-page analytics, and on the basis of the all channels uh, thing within the organic search, how much traffic has been received by the help of organic search, right? So these all data are really relevant for the SEO professionals, right? You can see when I scroll further down, it does say 5.1% on the about button, then 11% on the button underneath, and Ashim on Facebook. I mean, that's another tab which is not getting clicked at all, and the phone number has not received any click. Right? I hope this makes sense. That's with overall Google Analytics, guys. Which now we'll move on to our PowerPoint presentation again, just to make you see whether we have completed, we have covered each and every aspect which we were supposed to. So you can see, I hope the in-page analytics is pretty fine, have been easy to understand. You can see each and every tab, the performance of each and every tab on your web page. All right, so we looked at the geolocation part. We did that. We have also looked at the users flow, right? So users flow is all about how many people coming onto my website, and all those people coming onto my website, how they have moved on to different web pages on my website. We saw all that, followed by the acquisition part. Uh, Underneath the acquisition, we have the all traffic and the channels part. We saw how much traffic is coming from the organic search, how much from direct, referral, social, paid, the email part, and all that, right? So we understood all that, and the major one was about getting how much traffic, how the overall performance has been in terms of traffic getting received from the SEO. So for checking the performance of search engine optimization campaign, we need to look at all traffic, and underneath all traffic, we need to look at the keywords which are getting us the traffic, right? So we saw that. We also understood the in-page analytics part, what all tabs have got, what particular clicks they have received.
I'm sure you enjoyed learning from this video. Please like the video, and if you have any doubts regarding this video, please comment us in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more such informative videos. Do look out for other related videos in our playlist. For more information, visit our website now. Keep learning with IntelliPat.